In this video, we explore one of the most mysterious and transformative concepts in psychology and spirituality, synchronicity, a term coined by Carl Jung to describe meaningful coincidences that defy logic but speak deeply to the soul. We've all experienced moments where life seems to orchestrate events with uncanny timing, like thinking of someone just before they call, seeing repeated symbols that seem to guide your path, or stumbling upon a book that answers the very question you've been asking within. But Jung taught that these are not accidents. They are clues from the unconscious, signs that the visible world is dancing with the invisible. In this video, we'll break down the essence of synchronicity into 5 core lessons from Jung's work, so you can begin to see these sacred signs not as chance occurrences, but as messages from a deeper order of reality. Let's now begin. Lesson 1. Synchronicity is a bridge between the inner and outer worlds. Carl Jung defined synchronicity as a meaningful coincidence of 2 or more events where something other than the probability of chance is involved. In other words, synchronicities are not caused by direct physical interaction, yet they are connected by meaning. To Jung, the psyche and the material world were not isolated. They were part of the same deeper reality, what he called the unus mundus, or one world. In this view, your thoughts, emotions, and dreams are not locked inside your mind. They are part of a greater field of consciousness that includes the outer world. So when you have a dream about an eagle, and the next morning an eagle crosses your path, this is not just coincidence. It is your inner world and outer world converging through symbolic alignment. Synchronicity, in this sense, is a sacred echo, a sign that your soul and the universe are in dialogue. This principle echoes ancient wisdom from cultures across time. In Hermetic philosophy, as within, so without. In the Vedas, Yata Pinda, Tatha Brahmanda. What is in the body is in the cosmos. Jung's synchronicity is simply a modern lens on an ancient truth. Reality is symbolic, and meaning is the true fabric of existence. Lesson 2. The psyche has a sacred intelligence. Synchronicities are not random, they are orchestrated by a deeper intelligence Jung called the self. The self is not the ego, it is the totality of who you are, both conscious and unconscious, both personal and universal. It is the divine center of the soul that seeks wholeness. When the ego begins to align with the self, through inner work, dreams, spiritual practice, or even crisis, synchronicities begin to appear. These events are like breadcrumbs from the soul, leading you toward integration. Jung observed this frequently in his therapy practice. Patients undergoing deep psychological transformation would report synchronicities at crucial turning points, symbols from dreams appearing in waking life, strangers uttering words they had just written in their journal, or sudden encounters that opened a new path of healing. In these moments, the self is speaking. The unconscious mind is not chaotic. It is archetypal, patterned, and connected to the cosmos itself. Jung wrote, "The unconscious is not just evil by nature, it is also the seat of the highest good." When you honor synchronicities, you are not chasing superstition. You are awakening to the fact that your life has a sacred design, and your psyche is not separate from the intelligence of the universe. Lesson 3. Symbols are the language of the soul. To understand synchronicity, we must learn to read symbols, because the unconscious does not speak in words, it speaks in images. Jung devoted his life to the study of archetypes, universal patterns of meaning found across all cultures, religions, and mythologies. The synchronicities you experience are not random because the symbols they bring are not random. Numbers, animals, patterns, and people all carry symbolic resonance. When these appear at the right moment, they are not speaking to your logical mind, they are activating your inner knowing. If you keep seeing the number 1111, it's not about numerology alone, it's about what that moment makes you feel. Does it bring stillness, presence, a sense that something is aligning? Then that is the meaning. Jung taught that symbols activate transformation by bypassing the intellect and reaching directly into the soul. That's why synchronicities often feel more significant than they can be explained, because their meaning is not in the event, but in you. The I Ching, an ancient Chinese oracle that Jung revered, is based on this exact principle, that casting symbols can reveal the truth of a situation not through logic, but through resonance with the unconscious. As Jung wrote, synchronicity takes the coincidence of events in space and time as meaning something more than mere chance. So when you experience a synchronicity, ask, what does this symbol awaken in me? Lesson 4. Synchronicity intensifies when you are on the path of individuation. Jung's concept of individuation is the process of becoming your true self, shedding the masks of the ego, integrating your shadow, and aligning with your inner purpose. This journey is not always easy. In fact, it often begins with crisis, the loss of a job, a relationship, or a sense of identity. But it is during these moments of deep transformation that synchronicities begin to flood your life. Why? Because your soul is awakening, and the outer world responds. You may meet a mentor just when you need guidance. A book may fall off the shelf containing the exact wisdom you've been searching for. A symbol from your dreams may appear in waking life. These are not hallucinations, they are confirmations. Jung believed that when you walk the path of individuation, life becomes numinous, filled with sacred meaning. The unconscious joins forces with your conscious intent, and reality begins to mirror your inner process. This is not magic. It is not manifesting through wishful thinking. It is the natural result of aligning with truth. As the Tao Te Ching says, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Synchronicity is the universe whispering, you are on the right path. And Lesson 5, synchronicities are invitations, not instructions. While synchronicities can feel powerful and even supernatural, Jung warned us not to become superstitious. These events are not signs to be worshipped or obsessed over. They are invitations to deepen your awareness. The ego wants certainty, but the soul seeks mystery. Synchronicities don't give you definitive answers. They open doors to new questions. They challenge you to reflect, to feel, to intuit, not just to act. For Jung, the highest purpose of synchronicity was meaning-making. When you recognize that your life is filled with symbols, patterns, and echoes of the unconscious, you begin to live more consciously. You become the interpreter of your own soul's language. It is not about decoding every sign or finding hidden meanings in every event. It's about cultivating a deeper relationship with life. One where you trust that everything that arrives on your path, no matter how small or strange, holds potential meaning for your growth. As Jung put it, the chance that higher powers are already at work is always present, not necessarily in miracles or divine interventions, but in the meaningful patterns that shape our lives. In conclusion, synchronicity is not just a psychological idea, it is a doorway to a more enchanted, conscious, and meaningful life. Carl Jung gave us the framework to understand these mysterious alignments, not as irrational curiosities, but as reflections of a deeper truth, that we are not separate from the universe, but participants in its unfolding story. When you start to pay attention to synchronicities, you begin to realize that you are being guided, that the universe is responsive, that your dreams, thoughts, and desires are not isolated. They are resonating with the rhythm of a greater whole. You are not alone. You are not random. You are being led by something vast and sacred. So the next time a coincidence startles your soul, don't dismiss it. Pause, reflect, feel, and know that something ancient is speaking to you through signs, symbols, and synchronicities. Because ultimately you are part of a deeper order, and every meaningful moment is your invitation to remember this forgotten truth.